Okay, we're looking at number categories, and we're going to start off with the natural or counting numbers. These are numbers that you encounter in everyday life. Numbers like 1, 2, 3, 5, or 78. Numbers you can use to count real things. Now, there's no agreement on whether 0 is a natural number or not. Some mathematicians include it, and some don't. Next up is integers. Integers are all those numbers we just talked about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of that, plus 0 for sure, and then you add all the negative numbers, -1, -2, -6, negative infinity, going on and on. And integers, again, are a number that can be written without a decimal or a fraction. Next up, rational numbers. Rational numbers can be expressed as a fraction, or terminating or repeating decimal. So you have a number like -1/6. It's expressed as a fraction. It's a rational number. Or, if you look at it another way, -0.16 repeating. It's a decimal that repeats. It goes on forever, but it repeats. So it's a rational number. Also, 5.8. That's a decimal that terminates, or does not go on forever, so it's a rational number. Irrational numbers, on the other hand, cannot be expressed as a fraction or a terminating or repeating decimal. So you have a number like pi that goes on forever, but it never repeats. It never really settles into a pattern that we can identify as repeating, so it's irrational. Also, the square root of 2 goes on forever. It never really repeats. It's irrational. Next up, we have the category of real numbers, which doesn't really add anything. It's just the category that includes all of the categories that we've talked about so far. So a real number is positive, negative, 0, rational, or irrational. All of those numbers are real numbers. Next up, prime numbers. A prime number is any number greater than 1 that can be divided evenly only by 1 and itself. So 5 can only be divided by 5 and by 1. So it's prime. Same with 7. You can only divide it by 7 and 1. It's prime. Same with 83. Every prime number only has two factors, 1 and itself. The opposite of that is composite numbers. Composite numbers, like 15, 8, or 39, have more than two factors. 15 can be divided by 15 and 1, but also 3 and 5. So it's a composite number. It has more than two factors. So these are the main number categories you need to know to be successful.